stay.
Hi Spark Team. Today's trick is going to be stay. The criteria for Do More With Your Dog for staying at the novice level is the handler is 6 feet away and the dog stays for 10 seconds. So when we talk about stay, there are a number of things to think about, and the first one is the 3Ds. That's distance, duration, and distraction. You want to train those separately. The next thing you want to think about is, how does the dog know when it's over? How are you going to release them or get them to do something else so that they know that the stay is done? And you want to think about that before you start training your stay. Release words are kind of a controversial thing. Generally, when I am doing any kind of stay where I'm going to release the dog to do something, I don't have a release word. I leave them on a wait, and whatever I want them to do, whether it's a come or a jump or something else, I'm just going to ask them for their next behavior. I really only use release words when the stay is done and they're free to move about however they want. And my release word is okay. It's not a great release word, but it's one I've used for so long I just have a really hard time changing it. The last thing is, what kind of emotional state do you want the dog in when you leave them? And I have two different stay words, and I think that's kind of important. So stay means I'm coming back to you. You can just relax, nothing's going to happen, I'll be back. Wait, on the other hand, is what I use if I'm going to have them do a retrieve, do a jump for agility, do a recall for obedience. Wait means remain in that position, but be ready to spring into action because I'm going to ask you to move. So, when we're training the stay or the wait, the first thing we need to do is just get them steady in a position, and we're going to use a platform for that. So we get them on the platform, and I like to use a sit platform, have them sit and feed like crazy. And then we're going to start to vary how quickly we feed. So we're going to count in our head, and we're going to start feeding on 1, 1, 1, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, and start to move up. So 5, 6, 7, and get this kind of up and down curve going. When they're really good and they can hold still on the platform for several seconds without moving, we're going to put them on the ground and we're going to repeat that same process. Then we're going to add some distance between us and the platform, so we're going to shrink our duration when we're right back down. And we're going to put them back on the platform, and we're going to take one step back and step right in and feed. And one step back and in and feed, and then 2 steps back in and feed. And when we can get several steps away and go back, then we're going to start combining our duration and our distance. And so we're going to take 1 step back and pause there for a second or two before we go back. And then we're going to take a step back and we're going to pause for a couple more seconds and go back. And then maybe we're going to take 2 steps back and go right back in, and 2 steps back and wait for a second and go back in. And we're going to start ping-ponging more distance, less duration, less distance, more duration, and sort of move ourselves back to until we can get to that 6 feet and 10 seconds. When they're steady on the platform, again, back to the ground and back to the basics. And then we're going to add some distractions. And the distraction we're going to start with is us moving. For obedience and rally, we have to walk around behind the dog, and that's really hard for them. So when we do that, we're going to just start baby little steps, moving a little bit in a circle, and then moving back to front, moving a little further and back, so that they gradually get used to us moving around behind them. Other distractions you can use are toys, other animals moving around and such. But remember, one criteria at a time. So make sure they're solid on their duration and your distance from them before you start adding distraction. And when you do start adding distraction, shorten the other 2 criteria up. Well, that's stay. Have fun with it.
Good boy. Wait. Good job.